Season 4, episode 3.
Right.
Yes.
Let's introduce ourselves.
Yes. You start.
Noel?
No NPT, no meaty. Yep.
No meat.
No meaty. That's a new one.
Yep.
All right. How about Jeff?
I'm Jeff.
All right. Susie?
One and only Susie Q in the house.
The one and only. All
One
right.
and only.
All right. How about the guy that puts it all together for us, our sound and video engineer?
I am Ryan, the sound and video engineer.
All right. And Whitney? Almost the top producer?
I'm almost there, Whitney.
All right.
Our producer.
Alex?
Hi, Alex.
And I'm Pete. Welcome to the STRIVECast family.
Yep.
All right. Guys, what are we going to talk about today?
Well,
Yeah.
today is about sunset. There you go. Donuts.
Ooh, Susie's Q's is all about donuts. Looking forward to that. All right. Noel, what are you going to talk about?
The planets.
The planets. Noel's got some planet poetry for us in the off dance move week. And Jeff, what are you going to talk about? You got big questions for us, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Then why don't you take us to break and we'll get right into it.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the STRIVECast.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell us about Forgotten Orchard?
I can. A few years ago, I was driving through South Portland about this time of year, and I noticed that there was a huge windfall of apples, just an absolute ton of them on the ground everywhere. And because I'm a sort of typical Maine person, I looked at that and went, that's just wasteful. And we are a pretty frugal people here in Maine. And it occurred to me that, wait a minute, we've got people who are hungry and we've got food on the ground. And so I tried to figure out a way to get the food before it got on the ground to the people who were hungry. And of course, there are organizations like Wayside Kitchen and Preble Street Resource. And so I vowed that, okay, we're going to find a way to get the food to those people. And I started the following year saying, would you guys be willing, walking up to those residential properties and just asking people if they would be willing to donate part of their harvest, whatever they weren't using, because there are people who do gleaning from farms and orchards, but nobody was looking at all the individual trees on all these neighborhood properties. Because in the term forgotten orchard for me was that if I took all of those trees, they would effectively be an orchard. We just don't see it because they're so broadly spaced. And that first year was just before the pandemic hit. So the very first year, a year and a half ago, we did a pilot program, and I was able to get a whole bunch of other chefy friends, foodie friends, to say, hey, come help me make applesauce and other things from these apples, because the ones that are pretty enough, we can just donate straight to places like Preble Street. And there's a cool little organization in Scarborough called the Locker Project. They send kids home from school with food. And so this year we were able to sort of broaden into that. It's kind of been two pilot programs back to back because we're still sort of in pandemic protocol. So it's kind of hard to get a whole bunch of people together in one room because we still have to be spaced and masked and everything else. But this is the second year, and so I'm not as far along, in all honesty, as I had hoped to be. But that was pre-pandemic thinking. So now I've kind of got, okay, we've got 2 years under our belt of just being a very modest little endeavor. But truthfully, this year, every single person I asked, would you help? Would you be willing to donate apples or whatever other kind of fruit they had? Every single person has said yes.
Wow.
And so that makes me realize, okay, this really is a viable concept. So hopefully next year we'll really be able to break out and do more and do it faster.
Great.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, really. Good call, Susie. Jeff, the next one is yours.
What does you do with the items that you pick?
Well, as I was saying earlier, the good looking apples, the ones that sort of look good enough just to eat, and there are a whole bunch of those, we donate directly to places like Preble Street and the Locker Project this year. And the ones that aren't are the ones we process into, mostly it's been applesauce. There was a fellow in Falmouth who offered us use of a small press to make cider. So that'll be kind of interesting to look forward to doing more of that next year. But right now it is mostly into applesauce. We were lucky enough this year to get pears. And so we were able to can the pear slices in syrup and donate those. And I have to say that was kind of hard for me to give all that away because the pears were so good. But the people who are donating to me aren't donating so that Lindsay can eat. They're donating so that other people can. So even though they were really, really tasty, we gave them away. And hopefully next year we'll be able to make stuff out of the applesauce, because one of the things that both
Wow.
Wayside and Preble Street has said is that they would really like any kind of products that are able to be passed out to people who are either on the streets or to, to be going home with. So we want next year to be doing, muffins and applesauce bread and sliced apples dried so that they can be put into little baggies and people can take those. So there's all kinds of possibilities, but right now, as I say, we're still kind of in COVID mode. So hopefully next year we'll be able to really get rolling and do more with the product that we've been given.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Noel, it's back to you.
Why is this an important case for you?
God.
Well, I'm a Mainer, so we've already kind of talked about the fact that we are essentially a thrifty people, and when we see waste, we just kind of shudder and try to figure out a way not to be wasteful. The other thing is that I'm a former chef and I'm a mom. Now, granted, I'm a mom of somebody who is almost 37, which is kind of shocking in and of itself. So I don't have a little one at home that I'm trying to feed, but I distinctly remember getting divorced when my son was little and not having enough money and not being able, but for the grace of God and some really good friends, there were times when I was really worried about not having enough food for my kid. And so all of those things combined, you sort of look at that and go, wait a minute, there are other women, other parents who are in that same circumstance. There are whole bunches of people who do not have whatever I don't have. There's a whole bunch of people out there who are worse off than I am. And so you kind of take that and you go, oh, right, okay. I have the ability maybe to make a difference to a couple of people, as some other people made a difference for me. And so that kind of is the guiding principle. But I think the basic one is that food on the ground, people hungry, it doesn't really get harder than that to say, wait a minute, somebody has to make the bridge here. And so if I can be a little bit of a bridge between the food that is otherwise going to go to waste and people who are hungry, then that kind of became important to me.
Jeff, back to you.
What is your favorite thing about this?
I don't know if I have a favorite thing. There's a bunch of stuff that I enjoy doing. Number one, I get to go around and find the food. So that's kind of fun. You're driving around, once you know what you're looking for, you all of a sudden realize there's food everywhere. There's elderberry bushes, and there's rhubarb, and there's apples and pears, and there's all this good stuff. So that's kind of fun for me. And I don't like asking for anything for myself, but I've got no problem asking on behalf of other people. So I kind of like, knocking on the doors and saying, hey, listen, here's my little project. Would you be willing to help out? Because it's really gratifying to see the number of people who keep saying yes. And the other thing is just sort of banding together with fellow foodies and saying, hey, listen, can we make applesauce? Can we do this? Will you come and help me do this? And finding the number of people, even people I do not know, because I've got a little site now, a little page on Facebook for Forgotten Orchard and a couple of other things. And so people who were before this total strangers saw the messaging on Facebook and said, yeah, I'll come help you do that. So literally, it's just been this sort of thing of everybody going, yeah, this is a good idea. Why aren't we doing this? We should be doing this. And just sort of reaffirming for me that, yeah, this is possible and, might actually make a small difference. It's not going to be a huge thing. It's not like I'm donating scads of money or anything else, but it might make a small difference to a few people. And that matters to me.
Oh, that's awesome. And we'll encourage everybody to check out your Facebook page too.
There you go. Forgotten Orchard on Facebook.
There you go. All right, back to Noel, I think.
Yep. What has been the hardest part seen about starting the Forgotten Orchard?
The hardest part has been trying to do this in the middle of a pandemic. Because it's sort of like, okay, I pictured a whole bunch of people in kitchens, shoulder to shoulder doing this thing. And all of a sudden, of course, no, we can't be shoulder to shoulder. So we've got, Woodford's Community Center, they offered their kitchen. So we've had a max of like 4 people. And so one of the local restaurants in Portland offered their prep kitchen, but you can still only have a max of 4 people in that. And so it's kind of, that's been, I think I, as well as everybody on the planet at this point, has, pretty well had it with the level of frustration for pandemic. But of course, we also, the last thing I would ever want is to harm someone while I'm trying to do this good thing. So we still have to recognize, okay, you may not like this, too bad. This is what it is. And so hopefully I keep sort of fingers crossed next year we will actually get up. So the hardest thing for me is not moving fast enough, because there's a real problem with hunger. And as I say, as you can tell by my face, my cheeks are quite full. I'm not going hungry, but there are people who are. And as I said earlier, as a mom, that's just unacceptable to me. So the frustration is, yeah, there's a lot of hunger out there, and I wanted to be further along than reality is going to let me do. But strangely, as it sounds, strangely enough, reality wins every bloody time. So, hopefully next year we will kind of get on track. We'll be where I was hoping to be this year.
We feel your pain around. around
Yeah, but we're Mainers, and we just put our head down and just, keep plugging away, because that's, you guys don't know this about me, but the thing that ended the chef days for me was I fell through a floor, which in general is not a good thing to do. So if you're keeping a list of things not to do, falling through a floor should definitely be on it. I don't recommend it. I wound up with a head injury, and there is lingering deficit from the head injury that made it impossible, after a couple of years of continuing to try to go back to being a chef, made it impossible for me to do. So there was a game plan for my life, and then that game plan had to change. And so I'm now kind of still in that mode of going, okay, this isn't exactly what you thought it would be, but here you go. How do you figure out the rest of your life now that you have this additional challenge? So this is 20 years ago, so I am considerably better than I was, but I still get fatigued. I still lose words a lot. But anyway, you just have to kind of learn to put your head down and say, I'm just going to do this. So no matter what, you keep kind of coming back to the reality of, yeah, this might be hard and it might be tiring, but buckle down and keep on plugging ahead, even if you don't get as far ahead on any given day as you thought you would.
Yeah,
So
I think
that's
that's
kind
a
of where I am.
great outlook for anyone. So thanks for sharing that with us.
Does not come, as you well know, does not come overnight, and it does not come easy. I'll tell you one story
Right.
before we go. I was blessed to have a dear friend who we both had young sons. We were both on Peaks Island, and Christine listened to me over and over and over in that period of time when I was still wanting desperately to go back to cooking for a living, because I love it. And she listened and listened and listened and listened, and never once said, "Oh, for the love of God, move on," which I probably would have said at a certain point. She just, at a certain point, started saying, "And yes, all of those things you say are true. This is heartbreaking. This is frustrating. This is whatever I was saying, but I was still in my 40s. So she was just very kindly. So instead of booting me in the rear end, she just very kindly kind of helped me shift my focus. Like, yes, this is hard. This is painful. This is frustrating. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit there for the rest of your life and crab about this? Or are you going to find another way to have a good, productive life? And so thanks to her and that gentle encouragement, as I said, I probably just would have, lost my mind if I had a friend who was constantly complaining. But she never did. And I have since told her that 3-letter word, that "and," was the thing for me that really, really helped, because it was affirming everything I was saying about how hard it was, but also sending me off in this new direction with this gentle encouragement. So thanks to Christine Fiestas, I am as productive as I was before, which
Awesome.
just in a new way.
Great.
So-
We could all use friends like that.
Yeah. So that's my motto now, is just, and, what else are you going to do?
Jeff, I think you've got the last real question.
What is the one thing you wish people know?
About Forgotten Orchard? Just that this little endeavor exists. And so if you see, I've asked everybody I meet, if you see a tree that has some kind of fruit, apples, pears, whatever they happen to be, if they will shoot me an email or send me a text, contact me through Facebook and say, "Hey, Lindsay, here's a tree on this street. Go ask." Because I'm not asking anybody else to be the one to knock on the door. because some people find that really hard. Strangely enough, I don't. I find other things really hard, but not that. So any tree, anywhere, any shrub, any high bush blueberry, any elderberry, anything. Just let me know where it is and I'll go and do the ask. And then next year, hopefully we will have more things in place so that by the time the food gets ripe on the tree, we'll be in a position to make use of it.
If you think of ways that, our Strive team can help, I mean, we might have some volunteers that we could send to help.
That
pick
would be really cool. So next year, yeah, anybody who's got property who can say, hey, go find this. And if anybody, anytime wants to come help out in the kitchen, it's not hard work. It's just chopping and we throw it in a pot and we boil it down and then we sieve it out. So it's not difficult, but it does require bodies in the kitchen to help do that. So if anybody can come next year and help do that with me, that would be really cool.
That sounds fun.
I would too, Lindsay.
Excellent.
So guys, that's the end of our real interview questions. What's the time for now?
Lightning round.
Oh dear. Okay.
All right, so you want to buckle. This is a little less scripted, so you'll want to buckle up for this. But
Oh,
Jeff,
dear.
you've got
Okay.
the first. Jeff, you have the first lightning round question. A little more lightning.
What is your favorite sandwich?
My favorite sandwich. I've got two. It's either a BLT or a grilled cheese, bacon, and tomato sandwich.
Ooh,
Yeah.
both good.
I'm basically a kid, and so those were my two favorite sandwiches when I was a kid, and they're still my two favorite sandwiches.
All right. Noel?
Okay. Let's see. What about what is what is your favorite garden?
My favorite garden?
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's a tough one.
yeah, there are, I don't know if any of you have been up to Mount Desert Island to Acadia. There are thuya gardens in Northeast Harbor, and they were designed years ago, and they're absolutely gorgeous. But of course, the whole of Mount Desert Island is like this wonderful little magic kingdom. So if you get a chance to go to that one, do it. But there are a couple of beautiful gardens in Washington, D.C. as part of the National Arboretum is just stunning.
Jeff, back to you.
What's your favorite restaurant and why?
Ooh.
Ooh, I know that one. It's called Seng Thai. It's here in Portland. It's on Lower Congress Street. It's just a little hole in the wall, but they make the best green curry you have ever had in your life. And they're lovely people. So, you got a twofer there.
All right. Susie, do you have one?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
My favorite. My question is, which you like better? I know, sharks or whales.
Sharks or whales? Do you have a preference?
Ooh, well, it would have to be whales. Because whales are not scary. Whales are beautiful. I have never seen one close up.
I have.
Really?
Yes.
Well, someday you have to tell me about that because I bet that's really exciting.
It
So
is.
definitely whales. Yeah, sharks I would probably stay away from.
Yeah, me too.
All right. And then Ryan, do you want to ask our favorite last question?
Tell us your best joke.
Oh, no. God, off the top of my head, I don't know.
I'm sure Noel or Jeff would give you one if you need
For me.
or
Yeah, Okay, so I'm gonna turn that back around. I don't off the top of my head have one. So tell me one, because mine are probably pretty dumb. Most of them are knock knock jokes or bad puns. So,
Knock, knock.
Knock.
Oh,
So do you guys have one that you can give me?
Yeah, I got one.
okay, go ahead, Noel.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I don't.
Bless you.
Did
I don't-
you say who was there, Noel, again?
I said a door.
A door?
Adore?
Door who?
Adore who?
If you open up the door, you can let me in.
That is a good one.
All right. Well, so what's the Facebook page again? I'm sorry.
Forgotten Orchard.
Forgotten Orchard on
Just
Facebook.
Forgotten Orchard,
Search that up.
If you needed to contact me directly, there's forgottenorchard.org.
Okay.
you can
Forgottenorchard.org.
go either
There
way.
you go.
But
Perfect.
so yeah, I really look forward to seeing you guys next year, and we'll be in the kitchen. And
Yeah.
we'll have some fun making applesauce.
Yeah, and we've got a couple kitchens in our building too. If you're ever looking for a spot, we could
Super.
we could
Always.
potentially host too. So all
Always.
right. Well, thanks for joining us today. And Jeff, why
Oh,
don't
thanks
you
for
take us to
inviting
break?
me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, Pete. We'll be right back.
Podcast is brought to you by
All time around.
This time around, that's right, Jeff. One of our great auction sponsors for many years. Strive annual auction's coming up on October 27th. We'll be kicking it off virtual this year for a whole week. And we're really excited to have this time around back with us again. So thanks very much for them for continuing to support the Strive annual auction. They've been with us for a long time and we are very appreciative. So thanks to the whole team at this time around. Jeff?
We'll be right back.
Susie cute. Susie cute. Everyone like Susie cute. Yeah. Jazz hands.
Jazz hands at the end.
All right, Susie, what are the cues about today?
Well, thank you for asking that, girlfriend. Is donuts.
Donut Day. Before we get started, should we recap the scores for our listeners?
You betcha. Go for it.
All right. Well, we have we have 2 ties in our board. In last place, but still time to catch up, are Susie and Jeff tied at 4 points each.
Right.
Next is another tie between Noel and Ryan with 5 points each.
yeah.
Up is Pete with 6 points. And in the lead of Susie's cues, we have Alex with a whopping 8 points.
I think
Today.
going down.
That's right.
All right. So like Susie said, the cues today are about donuts in honor of National Donut Appreciation Day, which falls on November 5th.
Brave.
Speaking of which, we interviewed the owner of the Holy Donut back like in season 1. We did
sure
that
did.
in that format.
It's all about brave in the attempt.
That's right. The Special Olympics
Oh.
creed.
I think
What's your favorite donut to get us started?
A pizza pie donut.
A pizza pie donut. Get out of Dodge. What's your favorite donut?
I like a cheese.
Oh, get out of here. Stop. Jeff, what's your favorite donut?
I don't have a
Oh my goodness. You guys are killing me.
donut.
I love coconut donut.
my favorite donut
Coconut. There you go. Yeah, Susie.
is glaze.
Glaze. Classic. Ryan?
Well, I like a lot of different donut flavors, but I like them glazed.
Okay. Alex? This is just for fun, everyone. We're not even recording.
I love a good Boston cream donut from Dunkin' Donuts.
There you go.
Oh, and
I think I have a tie between chocolate glazed and strawberry frosted.
I'm a straight up jelly guy myself. All
Oh,
right.
and let you guys know, the National Operation Day, which falls on November 5th, but that's on a Friday this year.
Okay.
Get
Everybody
your
get
donuts
rolling?
on that Friday. All right, Susie, why don't you ask the first question?
Donuts originally did not have a hole in the center. Is that true or false?
So true or false? Donuts originally did not have a hole in the center. And as usual, Susie starts us off.
Well, I think it's true.
We have a true for Susie. Alex?
I think true.
True. Ladies, true. Locked in.
Yeah.
Nomi G.
I will pick true.
T for NPT. Jeff.
False.
False for Jeff. Ryan.
True.
True for Ryan. And Pete.
I'm also going to go with true.
True. So everyone's in at true and Jeff in at false. I am sorry, Jeff, but the answer is actually true.
Okay.
The hole in the middle was to solve the problem of the center not thoroughly cooking. It was Captain Hanson Gregory who claimed to have invented the actual donut hole. So everybody gets points for it except for Jeff. I'm sorry, but there's still time to catch up.
Thank you, Whitney.
You're welcome, Jeff. Next question, Susie.
3-0.
Renee Zellweger.
Ugh.
Rigor ate 20 donuts a day to gain weight for the Bridget Jones sequel.
So true or false, did the actress Renee Zellweger eat 20 donuts a day to gain weight for the Bridget Jones sequel? So we will go backwards. We will start with Pete.
I'm going to say true.
True for Pete. Ryan?
True.
True. Jeff?
Whitney, I would say true.
True. Noel?
Me too.
True for Noel. Alex?
I'll stick with true.
True. And Susie?
I'm thinking on our side, it's gonna be true.
So everyone's in at true, and that is good because the answer is true. To go from a size 6 to a 14 in just 3 months to portray Bridget Jones, Renee Zellweger said she ate 20 donuts a day in addition to Big Macs and milkshakes.
That sounds delicious.
What a diet.
Oh,
Okay, number 3. If a person added a donut a day to their regional diet, they would gain about 1 extra point every extra pound every 10 days.
So true or false? If a person added a donut a day to their regular diet, they would gain about 1 extra pound every 10 days. So, Alex, we will start with you.
Saying false.
False. Susie?
I'm with Alex on this one.
He's with Alex.
False.
Ladies in at false. Jeff?
yes, Whitney.
True or false?
Whitney, I'm gonna say true. Locked in all the way.
All right. Ryan?
False.
Me
Oh.
too.
No, at false. And Pete?
This is a tough one. I'm going to say it's false because I think they're going to gain more than a pound.
Or the variable doesn't say if you could exercise and burn some calories. Like,
So everybody but Jeff is in at fault, and Jeff is in at true. And guess what, Jeff? You made a point up from your
Ooh.
faults before.
oh, that's surprising.
Good
Oh,
job,
thank
Jeff.
you. Yes.
Well, but me and Miss Alex.
The answer was true. You guys.
That's wrong, Susie.
Yeah.
So only Jeff gets a point for that question.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Whitney. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, and this, Susie, this is the final question, right? And not true or false?
Correct your mind out there, my friend. Yes.
All right.
Can you guess how many pounds billions of donuts are made each year in the United States? A hint.
Ooh, I like hints.
It's a number between 1 to 20.
Okay.
So can you guess how many billions of donuts are made each year in the United States? And it's a number between 1 and 20. So first up, we will go with Ryan.
I'll go with 16.
16. All right, sorry. How many points is this if someone gets it right on the head?
6.
Whoa.
6 points?
Let's go.
All right.
And then who, if it's closest, what do we do? Do we just do 1 or 2?
Yeah.
Closest without going
1
over?
point for whoever's closest, Susie.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
6 points for whoever gets it right,
Whew.
for whoever is closest.
Wow.
All right, so Ryan is in at 16. Pete, what is your guess?
I'm going to go with 12.
12. Jeff?
Okay. How about 18?
18 for Jeff. Noel?
Okay. I think 15.
15.
What about you?
Alex?
11.
11.
Ooh. It's been the $1 thing to me.
And Susie?
Ooh. I would think 20.
20.
Ooh.
All right, everybody. Nobody got it correct.
Oh.
And everybody guessed over.
Oh, no points.
No points. The answer is 10.
3. Oh.
Oh,
So no points. I'm sorry. But Susie, why don't you sing us out? And I'll recap actually what we all got today. So Susie got a big 2 points today. Alex got 2 points. Noel, 2 points.
I am that.
Got 2 points today. Pete and Ryan, all 2 points. So Susie, why don't you sing us out and I will do our final scores.
Okay. Susie Kids. Susie Kids. Everyone likes Susie Kids. Oh yeah. TP. Oh yeah.
TP.
EP. Okay. Well, we didn't change that much since everybody had 2 additional points added to their polls today. So in last place, we have Susie and Jeff with 6 points. It's a close game because next up is Noel and Ryan with 7 points. We then have Pete with 8 points, and Alex has made it into the double digits with 10 points.
Boo.
Boo.
All
I'm
right.
disappointed. I feel like I should have known more about donuts. So.
Who wants
So
to
who
take
wants to take us to break?
We'll be right back.
Welcome to the planet section, baby.
Whoa.
That creeped me out a little bit.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. There is a 1 for Earth poem for 5 O's for Mercury and 2 E's for no 2 S's for Saturn. But in between the Saturn, Earth, and Mercury, there is a line over the 5th planet in between with the one it spins around with the ring. So when it taglined the ring, it came up around to the extra Calaxia galaxy to make it towards another planet we don't know about, but then it comes down to see the Orion's belt. Then we see the Orion's belt connected to the stars. 3 stars equals 1 planet, but Earth is 1, 2 is Saturn, and 3 is Mercury. And we put them all together and call it the planets of the alignment of the poem inside the galaxy itself, the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to teach us about a new planet.
Oh, but that was for later on.
Oh, okay.
It was the reason I said Ventnor, because there was in one episode of Saved by the Bell.
Oh. I see.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow. What was like the 2 S's in Saturn?
Because it has the ring behind it.
Okay.
The 3 S's, because when you live upside down in a planet, there's 1 here, and there's an S here when it tilts the planet that direction, and down is where the surface right over here.
Gotcha. I think Jeff has a question.
AP, I have a question.
Yes, please.
About that. That is not true at all.
But what part about it? There's a
Um,
lot of it. I think there might have some scientific.
Actually, the thing about the planets is not true at all.
The whole thing?
It doesn't have to
Yes.
be.
It's
doesn't
not.
have-
It's not true at all.
I think it was like creative writing, kind of. It was a poem.
Oh, because I did take a class on that, and I know the this Mercury, Saturn, Earth, and Pluto. Uranus is a planet, and also Orion's belt is made out of 2 stars.
3, I think.
Two?
Yeah, Orion's belt is 3 stars, and yeah.
Okay. Wow. I didn't know this planet poetry segment would be as popular.
Maybe
Oh,
Jeff
no.
needs to take over the planets.
Yes,
I
Susie.
know when one time I was at the planetarium with my folks, but I did see Earth, Pluto, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Mercury, and Earth is around the sun, but the farthest from the sun is Venus or Neptune. But
Pluto, I think.
Pluto is the farthest bring it to the sun. That would be is cold.
Right, that's right. Too cold to live.
Yes. Actually, it's when the sun sets. Okay, sorry, Dad.
So, wow, that was a good planet talk.
Yeah. It doesn't
Right.
have. It doesn't have to be true because it was a poem.
That's right. It's your segment.
I think it's a lot of just metaphors to things as well, with including the S around the Saturn thing, like the ring thing.
Okay.
The rings. Yeah.
So, Noel, anything else you'd like in your segment?
Not really.
Okay. Then, Jeff, why don't you take us to break?
Okay, Pete. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back. And what's it time for now, Jeff?
It's time for me to ask the big question.
It's time for Jeff to ask the big question. I think you got a couple for us even this week, huh?
Yes, I got 1, 2, 3.
Ooh, okay. All
3.
right, then let's do it. It's all yours.
Okay, thank you, Pete.
You're welcome, Jeff.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes, we are ready.
Okay. Who is your greatest person?
Who is your greatest person? Ooh, that's a
I
tough
know
one.
what is.
All right. Who are you going to ask first?
Whitney.
Oh, let's see. I'm going to cheat and say my dog.
Yeah, dog. Girl, come on.
Hope Dan doesn't take that personally.
And the same question for you, Pete.
I'm gonna cheat too, but I'm gonna say my family.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Thank you.
One for Noel.
What's the question again?
What's your favorite person?
Oh, favorite person, everyone or just in STRIVECast?
Anywhere.
My favorite, I like Matthew Perry.
Right?
My favorite
And
person.
Brad.
Matthew Perry and Brad Pitt. Okay. Do you know them?
Oh yes.
Oh. Okay.
My favorite person in the whole world is Alex, is one of them. And sitting next to me, which is Red.
I would include your mom in that, right? And your dad and your sister.
Oh yes, and speaking of which, you hear in the background is my cat,
Oh,
Rosie.
All right. And Rosie. All right. It's Ryan, I think,
My
right?
fiance Hillary.
Oh, good one.
Nailed
There
it.
you go.
There it is.
Then we can't
Jeff,
let
can we
Alex off
ask
the
you
hook.
who? Oh,
I think my sister, Morgan, is my favorite person.
Aw. Shout out to Morgan.
Aww. Alex,
Jeff,
that
what
is
about
so
you?
sweet.
What?
What about you, buddy?
Oh, Pete. It's not just me. It's for all of you guys.
Okay. All right. But we all answered it. It's your turn.
My favorite person will be my brother,
There you go. Nice.
Yep.
Good.
and also the baby as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
All right. So I heard you say you've got a couple more questions.
Yes, I do. What is your greatest vacation?
Oh, greatest vacation.
Ooh.
Orlando, Florida.
Ooh. Here's Tuffy.
Orlando, Florida. If you go back, I think, to season 1 of the STRIVEcast, you can actually hear Noel talk about that, where there was an encounter with Snow White, I think. Right?
What did Noel
That-
say about Snow White?
That's because we took a picture.
Mm.
Yeah, but I didn't do romance.
I think there was some romance.
No, I was blushing.
Yeah.
You were what?
I was blushing because.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't say inappropriate things because she was looking.
That's good. You didn't say anything inappropriate to Snow White. Okay. I think Susie would like to go next.
Only that. I
Do you have
know.
hey, Susie, do you have a favorite vacation?
Oh yeah, my favorite vacation. My favorite vacation.
How about Ryan? You want to go?
My favorite one was
Going to the
going down
camp.
to Florida.
Nice.
Susie just got back.
Okay. Susie, what was it?
Going to camp.
Go to camp. That's a good one.
Delaware, I meant to say.
Delaware?
Yes.
Nice.
For Whitney.
My favorite vacation was I went to Hawaii in high school.
Oh, that's good.
Good one.
Ooh, Hawaii.
And how
Good
about
bunga.
Alex? Same question for you, Alex.
I think my favorite vacation was to Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. That was beautiful.
Ooh.
Mhm.
What about you, Miss BB?
You know, my favorite vacation is always just, I'm kind of with you, actually, going up to camp, chilling out.
Cool.
Didn't you go down to Walt Disney World a long time ago with your kids?
I did. Yep. That was a
That's
very
the
good
thing.
one.
That's a really good one.
Okay. Good question, Jeff. Got one more?
Yes, I got only one more. One. What is the greatest TV show?
Oh,
Ooh.
Saved by the Bell.
The greatest TV show.
Ooh,
No
by the bell
hesitation.
for
Rings
me,
in. Saved by
too.
the Bell. All
And
right.
Full House.
And Full
Yeah.
House. Okay. Top 2 from Noel.
Yeah.
Susie, did you answer it already too? Did I miss it?
Yes, you did. Saved by the Bell and Bunked.
Bunked. Okay. All right.
It's
Saved by the Bell and Bunked. Okay.
And the same one for Pete.
I'm gonna go with MASH and Seinfeld.
Oh, and there's a reunion on Seinfeld.
Yeah. You're the pop culture guy. I'll defer to you.
And one for Whitney.
My favorite is Friends.
Yep.
Friends. Oh, we are friends. So perfect.
It's a TV show.
Yeah, I know that, Noel. But I've seen.
And they both have a reunion coming
Yeah.
up soon.
Let's let Jeff finish his segment. Who else has to go, Jeff?
Alex.
Go with Lizzie McGuire, old
Oh,
school Disney Channel.
It'll be done.
Lindsay McGuire. Cool.
Same question for Ryan.
I would go with like Full House. I like Bob's Burgers as well.
Nice. Good questions, Jeff.
Thank you, Pete.
You're welcome. Are we done for today with this segment?
Yes. And it's all I have for my segment, Pete.
Okay. We'll want to keep going and take us right to break then?
Yes. We'll be right back.
STRIVECast is brought to you by
Listeners like you.
Listeners like who, Ryan?
Melanie Ann Norton.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, Melanie.
Thank you, Melanie.
All right. And you could be the listener of the week too. Just throw us a like on social media or leave us a comment, write a review. Let us know you're listening. And you too could be listener of the week, just like Melanie. So thanks, Melanie. Jeff, you want to take us a break?
Yes, Pete. We'll be right back.
This is STRIVECast Wrap It Up series.
That's right. The wrap it up segment. So let's wrap it up, Noel.
Yep, wrap it up. Everything
Wrap it up. Wrap it
What do
up.
we do to wrap it up?
is the
Wrap
wrap
it
up
up.
of the day is a tuna milk sandwich.
The wrap of the day is a tuna melt sandwich. Oh, Noel, you just shut your
Where'd you
video
go,
off.
Noel?
Tuna melt sandwich?
There you go.
It just said low battery.
Oh, okay. Well, we better wrap it up quick then.
Yes, we should.
All right. Upcoming events, anyone?
Oh yes, our fun day. Yes. No, yeah.
All right. Whit, you want to do that one?
Sure. So we have our annual auction kicking off next Wednesday, October 27th. So this year's auction will be fully virtual, so you can browse and bid on items right from your own home, starting next Wednesday, the 27th, all the way through the following Wednesday, November 3rd. So take a look at all of the cool items that we have this year at pslstrive.org/auction. And we'll also be doing a live Zoom kickoff party next Wednesday as well. So if you'd like to attend that, just RSVP to any of us here on the Strive team, Pete, Whitney, or Alex, and we'll put you on our guest list.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Anything else?
Any other
Well,
things?
Strive is still hiring.
Ryan, you got it. You know it.
Still a $500 sign-on bonus. And so some available positions. pslstrive.org/employment.
You got it. Great one. Thank you, Ryan. Anything else before we close it up and Noel's battery dies?
Don't think so.
All right. Then tune in next week for another exciting episode of the STRIVEcast.
Yeah.
All right. Please share. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Oh,
Bye.
Bye-bye.